All right, let's go. Day number 23. Basically, one day left until Christmas, almost 48 hours or less. And let's talk about something that is, I guess, a popular subject and a debate that will always exist, maybe. And that is Meta ads, Facebook ads versus Google ads. Which should you use or which is better? And the answer, which no one likes to hear, but that's the truth all the time, is that it depends. And I can offer some specific examples in a minute here, so stay with me. But the answer is never that simple, right? That's why you have to actually look at what you're doing and then decide, what do I actually need or what's better for me? Is it Facebook ads or Google ads? Because think of it like this. We know that Facebook ads is basically an ad that you see when you're scrolling. And at this point, there's actually a specific formula, meaning that for every 3 or 4 organic posts that you see, the fourth one is an ad. And I think many of us have either got used to this or actually will get used to this instinctively or not. Because like once you do something for enough times, and let's be honest, most of us are scrolling way too much, probably, but we do get used to seeing ads. So it's nothing new. And I have to admit that it's freezing here right now. I think it's like 1 degree or 0. But coming back to the main subject, so I would say the following thing, that Facebook ads are basically an interruption platform, right? Because you are interrupting someone, and when you interrupt someone, you have to come up with something really good. And on the other end, you have Google ads, right? And those are definitely different because it's a search engine, and search engines work differently because you are the one who is actually searching for that thing, meaning that you already have some interest. So you're not interrupted, even though to Meta's advantage, their algorithm is so good that they will actually interrupt you with relevant ads. So ads about things that they know you might be interested in or you might like. So that's why the Meta algorithm is so powerful, and it's one of the fewest, because TikTok is not able to do that. Snapchat is not really able to do that. I mean, not effectively, at least. Not in a way that would give you your money back, and even some. So, coming back to Google. When you're searching on Google, you are the one who's interested, right? You're searching for how to make money online, right? Or how to do X, Y, Z, we've all done this, right? And tutorials and so on. And basically, that's the main difference between them. One interrupts you, so it tries to catch your attention, your curiosity, while the other tries to give you the solution. And that's why on Google, copywriting matters more. While on Facebook, I would say that copywriting does matter. I mean, it's still about words all the time. But at the same time, the visuals matter more on Meta. And that's why you also have to think of what you're able to do. With Google, you can use more keywords, and you can scale stores and businesses just by using keywords. Like, you don't have to get fancy, you don't have to shoot anything, you don't have to get any UGC creators to create anything for you. So that's totally different. And this is why you need to take into account what type of person you are, what kind of resources you have. Do you have the images? Can you source the images? Can you source the videos or not? Because if you can't, then you need to look elsewhere. And then it also depends on the industry, because depending on the industry, you might have different, let's say, levels of efficiency. And why am I saying that? Simple, because think of it like this. if someone is searching on Google for something, right, they are interested. But sometimes you sell something that people are not interested in. Like, will someone always search for coaching on how to be an agency owner, right? Like, not many will actually search for that. So that's why it's very important to think of the particularities of each industry. For example, for clothes, Google can work with shopping, Google Shopping. Basically, people are searching, and then you see a list of clothes, basically, that you're searching for, more or less. Like if you search a dress, then if you see dresses in the shopping feed, then you are likely to buy, right? And at the same time, on Meta, it's not the same way, right? Meaning that you don't search for dresses on Meta. You don't go on Meta and say, all right, let's search for some dresses right now. I'm in the mood to buy, right? You don't go there. So it's a totally different platform. And that's why, for example, if I'm working with a brand that sells clothes, I will definitely look into Meta. However, if they are selling, let's say, generic t-shirts, you know, like really generic ones, like no one would even care about them, then honestly it wouldn't even make sense. That's why you actually need some kind of offer. So for example, on Meta you could offer a bundle of shirts with something free, right? So that would be something that you could create a video about, or an image that would show the word free and show the products, right? So somehow with Meta you do have more creativity, and you need creativity if you have an offer that is either crazy good or is so bad that you need to make it look good, you know. While on Google, like, you can't really cheat on Google. It's like you either have something good that people want or you don't. Like, you can't really sell something out of the blue and expect it to work. So I would say that that's why on Meta there's more opportunity, because you can basically sell almost anything, because you can do so many creative things. You can use different videos, you can use different images, right? Styles, and that's where creativity comes in. But if you don't have the creativity, if you have high competition, then you need to look elsewhere. And basically, this is the main point here, that you need to look at what would be most efficient for you, considering your resources and considering where the market is in terms of sophistication, right? Meaning that if you're trying to sell something that's like in the gray area right now, like not even legal, for example, let's say THC drinks, if you try to sell them, you'll have some problems, you know. So it's not as easy, but at the same time you don't need to get very creative, meaning that that is not legal exactly because it has a stronger effect, right? So if you can let people know through the messaging that it's something that would relax them, right, then that could be enough to actually sell that thing. So very, very many small details that we could get into, but the main question is Meta versus Google. And honestly, in most cases you should be using both, especially for bigger brands. And that's because with bigger brands you probably have resources and you can test. And that's the main point. Usually you have to test to see what's working, and there's no clear winner in most cases unless you see what's the competition on each. For example, sometimes TikTok might offer you a better opportunity. So that is why the answer is not as simple as we'd want it to be, but at the same time you can always test, and there are best practices out there. So I just said that with clothes, depending on the level of interest and competition, you can actually do more with Google. But at the same time, if you're selling coaching, right, in most cases you won't really use Google unless you use YouTube, and then YouTube is basically the same thing as meta. You need to be creative. You need a good script. You need, let me see, can this actually drag my face a little bit higher? All right. So you need to be creative. And whatever platform you'll pick, you still have to take the same approach, meaning you have to start, you have to follow the best practices so you don't waste money from the get-go. And third, you need to always improve and iterate. So this is the simple framework and how you can think about it, because yeah, you can have the best practices, but then you will see what the initial results are and how much you can improve. Because sometimes, even if you improve something by 100%, and it doesn't work, it doesn't make sense economically, then it's still not good. So that's why you always need to actually do the thing and see what's happening and then adjust. So with that, we'll end for today and basically see you tomorrow.